So let's talk about the dark art of deliberate provocation. When someone seems to be intentionally trying to get a rise out of you. Understanding how this works isn't just some neat psychological trick. It's an absolutely essential skill for keeping your cool and, honestly, for reclaiming your power in some really tough situations.
I mean, have you ever been there? You're in a conversation, and suddenly you can just feel it shift. It's not a normal disagreement anymore. It feels personal. It feels like they're poking and prodding, trying to get you to snap. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not imagining it.
And that's the first huge thing we have to get straight. This isn't just a simple argument that gets a little too heated. No, this is a tactic. It's a calculated psychological weapon, and it is designed with one goal in mind: to make you react. So to really get this, we've got to reframe the whole thing in our heads. We're not looking at a fight, we're looking at a game. A game with rules, tactics, and a very, very clear objective for the person doing the provoking. Think about it like a chess match. Seriously, the provocateur, they don't really care about winning the argument with facts or logic. Nope, they're making these very specific strategic moves to force you into making a mistake. They want you to act rashly, to get all emotional, because that's when your judgment gets cloudy. What they're really doing is acting like emotional puppeteers. Their whole goal is to find your emotional strings and just pull. Why? It's simple: to create chaos. Because when you're feeling chaotic and off balance, they're the ones in control. It's all about stabilizing you. And this right here, this says it all, doesn't it? It is a zero-sum game of control. Every single ounce of emotional composure that you lose, it's directly converted into power and leverage for them. It's a direct transfer of power.
Okay, so that just begs the question, why? Why on earth would somebody do this? Let's take a minute and unpack the motivations that drive this kind of behavior. The reasons can be really varied, and it's not always just pure evil. Sometimes, believe it or not, it can be a twisted, messed up cry for help, or maybe it's just a learned behavior from a really toxic past. But let's be real, a lot of the time it's about gaining control, distracting from their own screw-ups, or, and this is a big one, provoking a reaction from you that they can then use against you.
And here it is, the grand prize thereafter. First, the power dynamic completely flips. You're the emotional, irrational one, while they get to look cool and calm. Second, your credibility? It's shot. To anyone else watching, you just look unhinged. And finally, that big reaction can be used to isolate you, painting you as the problem to your friends, your family, or your coworkers. It is a devastatingly effective strategy. Okay, so we're starting to understand their game. Now, let's turn the camera around and point it at ourselves. Why do we fall for it? What is actually happening inside of us that makes us explode? You know that feeling, that sudden, uncontrollable eruption of rage? It feels just like this, like a volcano blowing its top. But here's the thing about volcanoes. That pressure has been building and building deep beneath the surface. It never, ever comes from nowhere. See, anger isn't an on or off switch. It follows a pretty predictable path. It starts with just simple annoyance, right? You're still in the driver's seat. But then it can escalate to frustration, and then to hostility. By the time you hit stage 4, full-blown rage, your rational brain has basically checked out. It's offline. And provocateurs, they're experts at spotting these stages and giving you that tiny little nudge to push you right into the next. This iceberg is such a perfect metaphor for why some provocations hit us so hard. The part people see, the rage, that's just the tip. But below the surface, that's where all our deeper stuff lives. Our past traumas, our insecurities, that deep fear of being disrespected. A skilled provocateur isn't just attacking the tip of the iceberg. They're aiming for everything that's hidden underneath. And here is a super important concept: anger rumination. This is what happens when you just can't let something go. You replay that infuriating moment over and over in your head. What this does is it keeps those anger circuits in your brain firing, which leaves you emotionally raw and just a perfect, easy target to be triggered all over again. All right, enough about them and their game. Let's talk about how you win yours. This is the good stuff. This is how you reclaim your control. This is your countermove. Just look at this. It breaks it down so perfectly. For every single one of their goals, your most powerful countermove is the exact opposite of what they want. They want a big emotional reaction. You give them nothing but calm disengagement. They want to trash your credibility. You maintain your composure. They want power over you. You demonstrate power over yourself. Not reacting is not weakness. It's a strategic victory. So what do you actually do when it's happening? Okay, here are 5 steps. 1, breathe. Just focus on your breathing. Your calm is their kryptonite. 2, depersonalize it. This is about their issues, not about you. It's a reflection of their weakness. 3, set a clear boundary. A simple, I'm not going to continue this conversation, and then you walk away. 4, in your own head, name the game. Just think, okay, this is a manipulation tactic. And 5, if this is a pattern, get support. You do not have to handle a persistent manipulator all by yourself. And please remember this, true strength isn't about jumping into the fight they started and winning it. True strength is having the self-control and the resilience to refuse to fight in the first place. Staying centered, that is your ultimate power move. At the end of the day, their need to provoke you says everything about their own insecurity and their own lack of control. And your ability to see that and to choose a different response, well, that says everything about your strength. So the only question left is, how are you going to use it?